I'm talking about, oh, I've screwed up. Here we go. I'm talking about these friends right here. I've got Arnie of PepperTreeVilla, our special guest to
Hey.
that direction. I got RobFuz,
Hey,
one of my,
everybody.
and I've got Jim of More Sunshine, please.
Good evening.
And we want to welcome everybody to the show. Thanks for joining the Fifth Gate. This is episode 3, and I am happy you're here. Guys, nice to have you here.
Great to be here.
Thanks
for having us, Dean.
Yeah, thanks for having us. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I see some people are joining. Let me say hello to the chat here first. And this is going to be where it gets a little fun and challenging. Grace F., nice to have you here. Let's see. We've got Kyle's vlog. Kyle, nice to have you here. Big Noah, awesome. Good to see you. It's Joey's World. Hey, Joey. We've got Captain Akron 27, one of our regular watchers. Nice to have you here as always. We've got Luca Jovi. Hey, I don't know if you've been here before, but nice to have
my friend from Italy. So hey,
nice.
Hey, Luca. Hope you're doing good, buddy.
Yeah. Prayers for everybody in Italy.
Yeah.
We have Ben, PepperTreeVilla. Nice to have you, Ben. And I'm looking at the StreamYard and I don't see any more. Do you guys see anybody else I might have missed? I'm good.
That's it. Joey Crew. Did you say Gentleman Joey's in the house here? I think he said that.
Awesome. So, hey, Rob, you want to go ahead and explain what we're doing tonight?
So yeah, welcome guys. Welcome to the stream. We know you guys are out there. You guys are. Well, it's I don't know. This is my first stream back since the craziness of the coronavirus. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys, Dean, for having the stream. Jim and Arnie, thanks guys for coming on. And just crazy. I don't know. This is I just took a shower to come be on the stream. So I was in PJs all day. So, but it's cool. Well, thank you guys. Welcome to we're at the Fifth Gate. This is our 3rd episode where we kind of talk about if there was a Fifth Gate at Disney World, what would we do with it? And I'm just trying to pull up my notes here. Sorry about that, guys. This is episode 1 was the theme. Me, Jim, and Dean came up with a kind of our theme for a theme park that we would like to have as a Fifth Gate. Episode 2, what did we do? Create the park. We had Derek, and we had Road Trip Dave on. Derek from D&G Explorers and Road Trip Dave. We talked about, all the different stuff we would do in our individual parks. And today kind of is the greatest hits kind of the Fifth Gate. This is Theme Park's Greatest Hits, where we're going to pick how to incorporate the best attraction elements of other theme parks into our Fifth Gate. So that's today's show. We're on episode 3. So, it's funny because I was thinking to myself on episode 2, I would never imagine the world would be the way it is today. I don't think anyone could imagine the way it went so fast in a month. So it's crazy, but hope everyone's safe. Hope everyone's healthy out there. Stay safe and healthy, guys. So I'm rambling a little bit, but so go ahead, Dean. What's going on? We went over everyone in the chat.
Let's ask Arnie. Arnie, how are things in California? Obviously, we heard some news today. How are things out there?
We're doing okay here. Everyone from my immediate family, we're fine. No one at my office seems to be, sick. We're doing okay. So my immediate impact, okay, just empty shelves at the stores. That's about it.
Yeah. Are you dealing with that, Jim?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. Family's safe and healthy so far. One note, I happened to be near Disney Springs today, and I didn't really plan on going there. I just kind of wanted to drive by to see if there was anybody there, and I couldn't see anybody from the road. So I went into the Lime Garage, and I parked in the very first parking spot of level 1, and there were only a few other cars, and there were cast members scattered greeting me hello, because Disney Springs isn't closed yet. All of the businesses owned by Disney have closed, but the ones that aren't owned by Disney are still open. So Disney Springs is still open. So I just walked around. I didn't touch anything. I didn't go near anybody because there was nobody to be near. I just took some pictures. I posted them to Instagram just to show everybody this is a ghost town. It was weird, but it was such a beautiful day. It was just weird to see at 11 a.m. nobody at Disney Springs. But personally, we're doing all right. Family's good. So far, so good.
Yeah.
Rob, you're out east. You're probably in the thick
New
of it.
York. Yeah, just we're literally day set. I want to scratch on like some kind of, maybe I will in the closet here, or something on a wall. Like, we're on like day 7 or 8 of the the whole family home, and I'm the type of person where here's gonna be a snowstorm. I start stocking up bread, milk, all that kind of stuff. Orange juice, all the supplies and everything. And I had a bad feeling a couple weeks ago, and I didn't go extreme, but I did buy a 25-pound bag of rice. My wife mocks me, but that's the smallest bag Costco had was a 25-pound bag of rice. It's like a pillow. It's incredible. But I bought a freezer too. We've been meaning to buy a freezer forever, and I actually did it. I'm glad I did, and we stocked up on some food and everything like that. So, but yeah, it's just I'm glad I kind of did what I did when I did. And I went to the supermarket yesterday, and the line was around the store. But I got all my basics again yesterday, so yeah. It's crazy. Hope. Hey, by the way, Dean, the beginning video didn't play audio, so I don't know if you want to play it again. If you want to,
no,
people here, yeah. So let's play that video again. I got confirmation from someone.
Audio. Yeah, none of you heard the audio.
We didn't. No. So let's play that video again.
Oh no,
that threw me off a little bit too. So
hold on though. That doesn't make sense. All right, you know what? I think we'll have to table that because let me make sure.
Well, while you're looking, I'll just say Walt is here from Mouse Talk, and today he posted. Well, now I hear something. I can hear it now, but now we can't see it.
Can't see
but,
it. Oh, yeah.
Walt posted a video of his journey into Walt Disney World and how there's nobody there. So it's very interesting. So check that out over at Mouse Talk. It's crazy to see all the buses lined up doing nothing.
Wow. That is crazy. I would like that experience.
Charlie's saying his grocery store had toilet paper today. Yeah, I just I have toilet paper, so I'm happy with that. So it's gonna be funny. Next week there's gonna be a ton of toilet paper because everyone's stocked up on it. So it's not gonna be a problem next week.
Yeah.
Now we can't see you, Dean.
Unlike hand sanitizer, I think there is toilet paper somewhere. They just have to deliver it. You know what I mean? So shelves will be replenished.
I kind of crack up. It's bizarre. Like I went under my sink upstairs and I found a bunch of Lysol wipes and everything. I have like 5 canisters of Lysol wipes we never used over the years. And I have the hand sanitizer wipes. They're from 2014. I don't think they're good anymore, but I've been finding stuff from when the kids are babies and stuff, which is very bizarre. There's Dean. Hey, yeah, I know, but that's what I thought too. So
some kind of glitch there. When you guys are buying your groceries, are you like even sanitizing them when you get home, or what are you doing?
I started to. Yeah. I didn't at first, but I started to. So.
Yeah.
Oh, here they are, by the way.
Wet ones.
Ironically, I did buy newer versions, but yeah, it says expires 6/14. So I'll take it. Gotta laugh. So
dry like sandpaper at this point.
No, they smell good, and they don't seem bad. But you know what? I'll use them up first, and I have other stuff. So got plenty of Lysol. So.
Well, maybe we should. We're going to go ahead and obviously, I'm going to let Rob kind of moderate here, but we're going to kind of go around the horn, talk about some great attractions that we're influenced by, concepts that we like from them, and then while we're doing that, feel free in the chat to go ahead and post your thoughts. We'll do our best. I'll try to get your comments up there, and we'll try to comment where we can. So
okay, so no luck on that video, huh, Dean? We're not really.
So you were hearing sound and then you didn't hear the video or see the video?
Right. Yeah.
I'd say something is glitchy because I think it's all in place. So it just didn't work out.
All right.
Okay.
By the way, 552 subscribers on the Live Place YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the Live Place, guys.
I see what happened now. Okay. Grace just basically pointed out the problem. I had my mic muted and that mic feeds the audio.
Oh, okay.
If you guys want to see it, it is a minute long. You want to
I
do
do
it?
want to see it. Let's play.
Do it. Thank
Here
you,
we
Grace.
go. Everybody, glad you're late if you're late, because now you get a chance to see this really awesome, funny. Okay, here we go. Starting over. Take 2. When I was younger, a little older, I used to look up at the stars and dream. I used to think of creating my own theme park, a better one, and not that crazy. And someday I would meet friends who thought like me, not those friends. These friends.
Nice.
Nice.
Too funny.
Oh, man.
Stuff there.
Technical challenges again.
Oh, good.
Well, thank you, everybody, for joining. We got like 19 people on, so thank you for being here, everybody. And I don't know if we said hi. I see the Duffley Crews joined, and they're going to be on later. So thank you, Ron Meredith, for being here. Timothy Rainwaters, good to see you. I know we welcomed Walt. Good to have Walt here. He put out an awesome video from Disney Springs and around Disney. And I think there says somebody else, too. Of course, Charlie, Disney Nerd Herder. So thank you, guys.
We're so proud of Dean, by the way. He got a dislike in the comment, and thumbs down. So
He made it. He
So
made
proud.
it.
Thank you. Hey, we've got Epcot Bob in the house. Bob, good to have you
Oh,
here.
what's going on?
Hello, Bob.
Doug's
All right.
favorite screen name.
All right, enough of this stuff. It was funny because I didn't really want to live stream much, and then I saw a message from YouTube, and it said something like, your viewers need you the most now. So I think that was kind of a cool message to be said. So they're looking for entertainment now. They're looking to be distracted. So
That's exactly
let's
right.
do this. All right, I'm going to start with Arnie, my man, Imagineering, PTV, PepperTreeVilla. Definitely check out PepperTreeVilla, amazing channel if you haven't subscribed to them. Let's do this, Arnie. What do you think? What your greatest hits? We want to know what, you want to make the ultimate park. What would you bring over to this park?
Okay, so all Disney parks, in fact, all theme parks, have a variety of attractions to meet the needs of everyone that goes for a visit. At Disneyland, when they originally opened, they had A, B, C, and then they added D and E tickets. So I went ahead and took it to that point of saying, let's start with an A ticket and see what would happen. And generally, most of the A tickets were on Main Street, and they were the Main Street vehicles that took it. So I thought, what if we were to do that first A ticket attraction would be on the entrance plaza or wherever it is that main gate is, taking you into the center of the park where then you can go and decide where you want to go from there. So I thought some kind of vehicle like the horse-drawn carriage at Disneyland. They have the red car trolley at Disney California Adventure. So something along that line. I thought that would be the first attraction that I would probably put in a park. Something just to whet your appetite of things to come.
Nice. I never thought of that.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mr. Jim?
Oh, I have a request here. Okay, there we go.
See, I got the siren for Jim. He's got the foghorn for me, so there's your foghorn for me.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right. Jim was gonna every time they mentioned my name, he was gonna do it, but he kind of gave up on that already. So.
Whose name?
RobFuz.
All right, there. I think we're all caught up now.
We're good.
My favorite ride in all of Walt Disney World is the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover.
On my list too.
It's so great. If there's one problem with it, it's that they make you get off of it. And I also like the train, the railroad that goes around Magic Kingdom and Disneyland for that matter. So I thought for my park, we would replace the train with a Tomorrowland people mover type ride where people could get on, get off at different lands in the park, or stay on if they want. And I'm kind of influenced by the Skyliner, where you get on, and there's the one station where if you want to get off, you can. If you want to stay on, you can also do that, and you're not delaying the ride. You're not slowing it down. So a people mover system where people can stay on if they want or get off. And perhaps there's a, bear with me, perhaps there's a little table in there. So if you want to have lunch on it, going around the park, I'm thinking this is the ultimate ride.
I love it. Mobile food. I love that.
Yeah. But it's reminding me a little bit of Wall-E. Just saying, you know.
And I'm fine with that.
The tray is like on their belly, whatever. You know what it reminded me of, like when you go to those water parks and you want to go on the lazy river and you're waiting to get on the tube. You're waiting for the tubes and you're waiting there and you're waiting there and you're waiting. You're never going to get on because people like Jim aren't going to get off. So I like the concept. It needs a little more. I do like it. So.
Yeah, listen. I'm spitballing. I'm brainstorming. It's a work in progress.
I love it though. All right. So as you know, I'll go this time. You know, as you know, my favorite ride, one of my favorite rides, you know, obviously I love Pirates. I love Haunted. Those are my favorite rides. But I think one of my all-time favorite rides, I was very moved when I went way back in like 2005 when I went to Tokyo Disneyland, when I rode Pooh's Honey Pot Adventure, one of my favorite rides of all time, just because at the time I've never been on it. And there's been a couple rides since where there's a trackless ride. So, you know, Mystic Manor, Ratatouille's coming and it's in Paris, Rise of the Resistance, and of course the new Mickey and Minnie's Mickey and Minnie's ride in Disney Studios. But my concept is I want to bring, I don't really have a title. Maybe you guys can help me with a title. Maybe you guys in the chat. I want to bring like kind of like an empty canvas to my park. And I want to do something very innovative where, you know, a lot of times when Disney has a smash movie, you never see a ride or attraction. Maybe like it takes 10 years or something like that. My thing is I want to have like, I don't know, maybe it's called the Artist Palette or Disney's Palette or something like that. And you get on and it's a ride. And it's kind of like the concept of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad. And like whatever the, like Coco is the newest ride, it'll be Coco themed. And like all the projection maps, all the different stuff would be in there. And then like, say like, I don't know, the latest movie comes out, say like, whatever, Frozen 2, and it's a Frozen 2 experience, or, you know, a different thing. It would change as time goes. So it'd be a limited run, or like it'd be a greatest hits too. Like 1 week, oh, it's going to be Toy Story week or whatever, and a Toy Story projection is up there. So I think that might be kind of cool, because I love, if you guys, you've been on it, Jim. I think Dean's been on Rise. Arnie, have you been on Rise of Resistance yet, or have you been on a trackless ride yet?
Trackless ride. The only trackless ride that I've been on was Universe of Energy.
Okay. Well, that wasn't. I'm talking about like the new technology where it's like smooth and magnetic and stuff.
For the new ones, no.
Yeah. So that's what I envisioned. Fifth Gate should be called Nostalgia Land and have all the extinct defunct rides and attractions. Dennis, we're coming to that. One of the future episodes, we're going to do something like that. Keep tuned for that. That's good. That's a great idea, Dennis. Or Denise. I don't know how you say your name. I'm looking down up there.
I believe it's Dennis.
I think it's Dennis.
So that's my idea. I don't know. You guys have I love Bob likes my idea. Thank you so much, Epcot Bob. Yeah, I don't know what the name would be. I'll be honest with you. Like, if I'm going to bring the greatest hits of rides, any of those, Mystic Manor, Pooh's Honey Hunt, Ratatouille, Rise of Resistance, or Mickey and Minnie's, but I thought in my head, why not make a new ride? I kind of went off the grid there a little bit. So, I think
so. Bob said something really good here, and I thought of the same thing when you were talking, Rob. Is the end of Horizon where you choose?
Yeah, you can choose. Yes.
Yeah.
See, I like the idea.
And what's wonderful about projection mapping is that it's super easy to change,
right?
You know, and in the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, there are set pieces that rise up and are hidden, or trees become like cylinders or something like that. So
Right.
you could do the same thing where the set pieces change shape, and also the projections can change to match them. But then like a holiday overlay would be perfect for something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Rob, I'd like to change my answer about the trackless vehicles.
Go ahead.
Luigi's Rollickin' Roadsters at California
That
Adventure.
counts. That's true. That is true. All right,
Right.
cool. Very good.
And so,
Yeah, so like I kind of went off course. I think we were talking about individual rides. I'd take any of those trackly rides in my park, but then I was thinking, I want a greatest hits. I'm like a blank canvas. That really is a greatest hits. Then.
I like the idea.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Teen, what were you thinking? What were we going to say?
I'd say the Definitely crew here saying the same thing we're talking about here. What if the riders could choose what project map they wanted to see? And like Jim says,
It's true.
with digital technology, it's quick, so you should be able to do that.
Choose your own adventure.
Yeah, there you go.
I liked that about Horizons. So
No, I like that concept too, Jim. As the ride goes, you choose the adventure.
Oh,
As it goes, the next scene.
look at us working as a team.
I like that one. Very cool.
I think we've nailed down like a solid aspect of the fifth gate. It's this dynamic projection mapping choice. I love it.
And I just came up with the concept as 5 minutes ago.
Rob, you deserve a horn.
Not gonna lie. I got my own horn too. I love it. All right, Dean, hit us. I know I went a little
all right. The first
out there, but I thought it was kind of cool.
Candy Mom's asking if you rode Mickey's Runaway.
I did write it once. I actually wrote it with Jenna and Jenna's mother, Mama Resort TV1. We happened to be in line together. So I got to write it with them, and I actually filmed it and posted it. Filmed it with my 360-degree camera, so you can see us in the same car together.
Cool. There's a concept Bob has too. You could use maybe extinct rides and bring it into like great movie ride like Horizons, which I know someone's going to pick. Maybe you could do some of the classics too.
Well, I actually, I figured that, Rob, you of all people would suspect that I'd start with Horizon. I got it last, and if I don't get to it, I'm okay. I feel like being unique. But, yeah, so Bob brings up the great movie ride, and that was my second thing, but I'm going to do it first now, which is, here's an element of the great movie ride that I really liked. In the beginning, you get into your vehicles and you go through, but in the end, how many I think I remember how many came together in one room for the movie?
Two.
How many?
Two main cars.
No, it was
But
just two.
It was 2 and 2 and then 2 and 2. So it was like two main cars.
4 trains.
So like 4, yeah.
So 4 of them would come in there, and then it was like people that you weren't a part of on the journey all joined together for this big show, and I love that. There's something about that feeling. It's like now we're all here together, and so that is and it's going to be a short answer, but that's the concept that I like is how you all ended up in this same room and something big happens.
To a lesser extent, Maelstrom was like that. You'd get off the ride, and if you chose to watch the film afterwards, you could. But then everybody was there. But the Great Movie Ride was like that on steroids, really. But yeah, that's a great idea.
As was Universe of Energy. I think that was similar, right?
Yeah, it was.
That's it for me, Rob.
Back to you, Arnie.
Okay.
I liked everyone's choices, by the way. I'm sorry.
Okay, so
Really
I started with an A ticket. Now we'll move to a B ticket for the second attraction. And for B, I went ahead and thought, let's go ahead and try and go around like Disneyland for a concept of ideas for some of these attractions. What would I like over there? And in this case, I thought of something like the Swiss Family Treehouse, something along that lines. But what it is it's some kind of a walkthrough experience that you can go through, something that's going to a shared experience. You can do it at your own pace. Maybe some people would pass you up or whatever. You don't have to necessarily follow people behind. But it would also look very pleasing and fit in very nicely with the landscape and the buildings of the area That's where you get the treehouse. That's also where you get the concept of like a maze, for instance, at Disneyland Paris. So I'm thinking some kind of walkthrough attraction like that, something that would fit nicely into the landscape and blend nicely with the surrounding area. So, yeah, maybe
like
a
that.
walking attraction upstairs, or just something that you go in and you look at something, but something that would just fit in nicely with that particular themed area.
It's funny because when you look back at Disney history, I don't know, Arnie, you might correct me on this, but I know, didn't they want to do the Haunted Mansion as a walkthrough attraction?
They did. They also wanted to do Pirates of the Caribbean as a walkthrough.
Right. And they always talked about walkthrough attractions, and they never really came to is there a walkthrough attraction even exist?
Yeah, there are a couple of them. One, there is the Swiss Family Treehouse, which is now Tarzan's Treehouse at Disneyland.
Okay.
There is also the Sleeping Beauty Castle walkthrough.
Okay.
I walked through that one.
I mean, like a main ride, though. Like Swiss Family Robinson, I apologize if you love this, but it's kind of lower on the totem pole. But I mean, like a major ride, like a Haunted Mansion. But there really doesn't exist, though. I understand what you're saying, and I love your concept, Arnie. So cool. So I would love to see that. It's a great idea.
Thanks.
I've definitely thought of walk-through attractions before. I'm wondering, what are the challenges? Do people stop and they need to have a regular flow or whatever? But
yeah. Jimmy. All you, buddy.
All right. My park idea, just to refresh everybody's memory, was I called it Disney's America, and it had a USA theme. We would celebrate the United States of America. So for my park, we need a ride with a mountain. And I thought, well, the thrill ride for this park needs to be the Rocky Mountain roller coaster. And if I was trying to think of a good theme for it, and I don't know if it's good, but the first one I thought of was Lewis and Clark being led through the Rocky Mountains by Sacagawea, and the theme of the ride is finally getting through the Rocky Mountains. I don't know, but I needed a mountain ride, and that was my idea. So it fills the thrill ride. We're celebrating another area of our country, and I came up with a theme for it of exploration. So Rocky Mountain roller coaster.
I like that idea.
See the logo already.
I like Joey's Sam the Eagle comment too.
I can see it on my app where I'm not able to get a fast pass for it. That's my hope anyway.
I do like it.
Yeah, I like the idea of the like some kind of like a mountain railroad, maybe a mine car or something going through the Rocky Mountains, or like you said, the exploration of maybe some kind of like a controlled rapids ride of some type. In the car shaped like a canoe or a raft or exactly.
Yeah. The idea is fluid.
I pictured wood roller coaster when you said that. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Built with the timbers that they've cut down in the area.
Oh. I like it. We're brainstorming here.
Yeah. Well, of course, I'm gonna go now. I just we're talking about the extinct ones as a future show. But yeah, I would like to in my mind, I never felt that virtual reality really took off too well. I don't know. I'm not really into it. But I think those younger whippersnapper, I'm a whippersnapper, whatever. The younger kids kind of into, I don't know, they're kind of into virtual reality and everything. So I'm going to kind of incorporate, I want Horizons in my park. I want like some of those old school rides and everything. And I think the way I would bring it back is I hope that in my mind that Disney has filmed all these rides like professionally, like movie quality, maybe IMAX quality and everything. And, maybe like a virtual reality ride. I'm going to bring that back again, that concept where you can relive those rides through virtual reality. You can look around and everything. And like, maybe like, there's like a simulated ride or something like that. But that's my next pick. I'm kind of changing the concept here as we go, guys. But I think I like that though. Like I think, I would say any of those. I have a list of stuff. I'll be honest with you, I knew we were going to repeat a lot of stuff because I did have TTA on my list too, where it would go to different locations. I love that idea, Jim. But I think that's going to be my thing. Like kind of like a. Is that all right if I change it while we're going, guys? I hope that's all right.
There are no rules.
Okay.
No rules.
So I would bring that in. I would bring like a virtual reality simulator with like a like a VR ride to bring back like the classic rides. So.
Well, I'll tell you what. Disney Springs has a business here called the Void, and they offer. I don't know if anybody's done it, but they offer a Star Wars experience, and they also offer a Wreck-It Ralph experience. I haven't done that one. I did do the Star Wars experience, and it was a lot of fun, and it was amazing. It's a separate price, of course. It's at Disney Springs, but it's the potential is there for so much. You just need an empty room and a pair of, and a mask, and it can be whatever you want it to be. I think it's the possibilities are really endless. Plus, what they did in the Void is they added temperature, and there's a you get a blaster, so it's interactive. So you're shooting at monsters, space monsters, and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed my experience with that. So I think VR. I don't think its time has passed. I think there's potential in the future for more VR.
Yeah, I think so too. So
how much does it cost, Jim? I'll be honest with you, I don't know anyone who did it.
So. It was 30 or 35, and it was. You know what I do? I did it with my son, and we were paired up with another father and son team. And the kid we were with was much younger, so we kind of let him. If there was like a control panel to do stuff with, we let him do it, and it was a blast. We both enjoyed it very much. Yeah, I do recommend it. It's
I forgot about it.
It's a very unique experience. I don't want to spoil it. I could tell you all about it, but I don't want to spoil it.
I don't want to know about it. But...
Thanks, Candy Mom. By the way, I like her comment about that Disney needs to listen to us all. All I have to say to that is hire us, Bob.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're Imagineers.
New Bob. I'm like, Bob? It's a new Bob.
Yeah.
New Bob.
They went from one Bob to another Bob. I referred to it as, and Ben to do the changing of the Bobs. So,
man.
Yeah. Epcot Bob is next.
All right, Mr. Dean.
Now, I can get behind that.
Your turn, Mr. Dean.
Well, I just was going to say up front that I don't know how many of you out there have watched all 3 episodes, but the first one, like Rob, the guy said earlier, is we gave our concepts, and then we talked about just great ideas, just off the top of our head ideas, and now we're talking about attractions. The goal, and if I do my homework a little bit better, is to start to create something that is a little tangible. So basically, it has some form. We're not just creating this and that. And I'm already thinking about how to take Rob's element concept and work it with Jim's America concept. And mine's kind of a little bit of the outlier with the trip to the galaxy, but I'm starting to see it as a 2-part park in my mind. But anyway, my next one, somebody mentioned it, is Maelstrom. And there's a thing about Maelstrom that I used to notice, and I don't know if anyone else ever noticed this. Let's see your Maelstrom memory here. When you would go up and see the trolls, and then you would come down backwards, and then just as you were turning around to go back forwards, there was some angles built into the ride so that it looked like you're seeing something that, oh, what's beyond that? I can't tell. I wish I could go there. It was those angles that made me very curious. It made me think they're trying to make me believe there's something more that I'm not even going to see. So it's the concept of angles and that sense that there's even more, that you haven't seen. So that is my second idea.
Is that where the oil rig was?
Was I think the oil rig was before. It was right, because when you came down backwards, you turned and went forwards pretty soon afterwards, right? And
Yeah,
so
I
the
believe
boat, yeah, the boat was just kind of like going like this, and then it was angling off and then going to go down. It was in that area right there.
Kind
Maybe
of
it
like
was
a forced perspective kind of thing.
fourth perspective. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that. That's cool.
Yep.
I like that concept. What's going on in the chat there, Dean? Anything? Anyone coming up with any ideas?
Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Bob.
I missed a bunch of comments. I
Love
am
your
going
comments, man.
back up.
Hey, Dougie. I love
Dougie,
when
is,
Dougie's here because I know it's like really
Hey,
late.
Dougie.
where
Dougie
is
had a
he?
good stream today. He's in there.
welcome.
I am looking for Dougie.
Welcome, Dougie. He just commented.
Oh, there you go.
He did a fun stream today.
He did a fun stream this morning.
He did?
Yeah.
I missed it.
It was like a day apart from Arnie to Dougie. It was like, it's probably like 15-hour difference.
Dougie, hope you're
much.
well over there.
Yeah. Very interesting. Bob likes that. All right, cool. All right, so let's get back to Arnie. We're on, let me think, a C ticket now? There wasn't a C ticket, was there?
The C tickets, yes.
Okay.
Those were like more of the dark rides, kind of like what you talked about. But I thought, again, Jim, you mentioned Wreck-It Ralph, and Rob, you also mentioned the trackless dark rides, because that was my concept for the C ticket level, and that is that dark ride. In this case, I had it as a Wreck-It Ralph trackless dark ride, where you would actually go into a video game and experience what anyone would say if someone were to take control of the video game that you're in, and then suddenly they're making you do what they want you to do. So kind of a weird controlled virtual reality concept. But, with what they're doing now, like you said, Jim, at the Void, they have that at Downtown Disney as well. I haven't done it yet. I really should, because I've heard nothing but great things about it. But with that technology and the trackless technology, the 2.5D mapping that they've got with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, I'm thinking they can start combining all these technologies and do just this one fantastic attraction. And that was my concept for a C ticket.
I can't wait to hear your e-ticket. That's awesome.
Is virtual reality, this is going to sound like a dumb question, but is it you always have to have the thing right on your eyes?
I think you do, yeah.
Can't do it any other way. Okay.
No, not for virtual reality. No.
Yeah, when I did the Void experience, there was a part where R2-D2 is in the room, so I lifted up my mask just to what is going on in this room that I'm standing in for real, and there was actually an R2-D2 shaped statue in this room that we were in that wasn't doing anything, but the virtual reality made it seem as though he was moving and talking to us.
That's so cool. I gotta try that.
But for the most part, I believe it was just empty rooms. Well, I mentioned that already, but yeah, it was good. Yeah, everybody try that.
Cool. Jim, you are up.
Thank you, RobFuz. Okay, back to Disney's America. My concept was to celebrate different areas of the country, and certainly there's no shortage of things that we can use to celebrate different areas of the country. I am originally from Michigan, so one of the things I thought of was an automotive themed attraction. And instead of having a test track or a Radiator Springs Racers, which are awesome, but we already have those, this could be a history of the automobile. So it could incorporate a ride vehicle. If this were a dark ride, it would have the different ride vehicles would be different cars throughout the years. It would be sort of it would incorporate a bit of Carousel of Progress into this ride. So where much like the Carousel of Progress, where we're going through the different times, we would do a similar thing with automobiles. And so it would be sort of a history lesson. So it would seem a little bit Epcot-ish. It would seem a little bit classic Disney-ish with the Carousel of Progress. But with, and I didn't flesh this out too much, but I just thought if we got to, what does the Carousel of Progress have? 4 different areas?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could do a few more. So it could be maybe a little bit quicker for each, but have a couple more added. I just thought that would be a good way.
Would it be a theater attraction or you're a ride attraction?
Well, it's a ride. It's more of a ride, but you would ride to a different area and then maybe stop and watch a minute or two of something. So instead of a theater, you'd be in a ride vehicle of some sort.
Kind of like Journey into Imagination, the original ride, where they kind of stayed with it. Like
that's exactly right. And there's a bit of that in the current Journey to Imagination. Really, like when you go to the site where there's an eye chart, your vehicle stops there. A bit like that. So the scenes wouldn't be as long as Carousel of Progress, but there'd be more of them. So it would move along a bit quicker, and perhaps we could add some IP into the ride.
So I love Brainstorm with you guys. I don't know if you ever saw the ride from the New York World's Fair, where they actually do get into cars. I don't know if you ever saw that. So
the Ford Skyway or something like that.
Something. I don't remember what it is.
Really?
I'd imagine totally get it. And they never went with that. That's really the only ride that didn't survive. It didn't survive.
It didn't survive, but it was reincarnated as the People Mover.
Right.
And then they took some of the audio animatronics from that attraction and put them at the Disneyland Railroad in the diorama for going back in history for the Primeval World. Right.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I think they had like these cavemen, and they were like the worst animatronics I've ever seen at Disney. So that never lived. That never saw the light of day. But yeah, Arnie, I was going to get to that, but I knew you were going to say something. The actual cars, though, they never really brought that concept over. Don't look up that video or look up the pictures, Jim. You'll laugh, and I think that would be so cool. Getting in a car, like maybe it's even a classic car. Like that's
absolutely
American right there. It's a classic car,
like a model from a Model T all the way to a electric Tesla vehicle.
It wasn't a classic at the time, but I believe they used Mustangs in the attraction.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I don't remember what it is. I love that idea. Anyone else want to add to that, or anyone else in the chat say anything? Good night.
There's got to be more to it. I didn't flesh it out totally, but I just thought, I was very interested in incorporating something like the Carousel of Progress, but kind of updating it. So just making it a little punchier, moving it along a little bit more.
I think it's a great idea.
I like that.
Thanks.
Well, I'm gonna go now. Believe it or not, I'm gonna throw a curveball here.
We believe it.
I'm gonna guess possibly Jim been on this ride. It's not even a Disney ride, believe it or not.
Easy.
And I'll be honest with you, I kind of wanted to, because this is the way the last show went. I kind of wanted to kind of create as we went. So as I'm sitting here, I'm thinking about different ideas and different rides. And I love to bring back a ride that was in Busch Gardens of all places. Jim, I don't know if you've ever been on it. Rhino Rally. Have you ever been on that ride?
That sounds familiar.
So what it is, and I bring it in. This would be kind of an Animal Kingdom kind of ride. If you don't, do you remember Jim at all?
I remember the name. If you maybe through your explanation, it'll ring a bell.
So basically, you get on a car, kind of like the safari, and what you do is you go through and you see animals and everything, and you see it's basically rhinos. You see rhinos and you see different kind of rhinos, and you go through, and they're live animals and everything. And in my park, I would bring the live animals and safari. And the coolest thing ever, and I don't know if when I went on it, the concept was there, but I think they changed the concept at some point because I don't think it really worked that well. If you look up Rhino Rally, there's a Wikipedia article on it. And maybe you can watch the video. I think I have it on video somewhere. But the coolest part is you're on the safari. All of a sudden, it locks in, and it's like a roaring rapids ride. So it goes from a car driven by a driver to a water ride. It is the coolest concept that I've ever seen, and I'll be honest with you, I never know why this. I guess it was hard. It was maybe it was a clunker or something like that. Maybe it didn't work that well. When I went on it, I didn't even know it turned into a water ride, which was amazing. So all of a sudden, you're in a car. You're on like the safari, and then you get in, and it locks in, and it's a water ride. I just thought that was the coolest concept. So I like that that double concept, and I would bring in Rhino Rally into my park. So.
No, I don't remember that necessarily. No doubt I went on it as a kid, but I just don't remember. I remember the name. I always liked that name, but I don't remember.
Yeah, here it is. The water section was plagued with problems, often causing it to break down. When this happened, the land portion was operated as normal, and then it closed in 2010. And no, I think it closed 2015. I think that's what it. Closing date September 1st, 2014. So from 2001 to 2014. But I thought it was such a cool ride. If you guys want to look at it afterwards, it was pretty cool. So amphibious ride, yes, Dennis, that'd be cool. So that's my pick.
That's cool.
I didn't think I sold it on you guys.
No, I like the idea.
Okay.
There's
kind of like the duck boats.
Or the Universal Studio Tour, where you'd go through the Jaws. I mean, you stayed in the tram, but you kind of went through water in that thing.
Yeah, I on my video, like that, my video that's my most popular video on my channel. I cut it out, unfortunately, but it was raining really hard that day, and the water, when the water parts you go through, it came up. It was like literally to my up to here on me. So that was not really cool, but. Because it was raining so hard in California and the water was so high.
That 10 Commandments effect was awesome. Watching Moses part the water there at Universal Studios. It's cool.
I like that, though. I like that. All right, Dean, all you. What's your next choice? Doing good here. Good on time, too.
Yeah. So I think for the next one, I'm in between. I'm just going to stick with the next one, Star Tours. So what I liked about Star Tours, you guys think about this, and we talked about this. Every time there's a new big, innovative attraction, it's big for a while, and Star Tours was big. But what made Star Tours so cool, and I don't know if it was ever matched by that time, was the queue. If you were waiting in line, you were already having fun. You were in.
I love that queue. Still love it.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? Too bad they couldn't make that a little more dynamic and change it up, but you felt like you were in the movie set and things were happening, and C-3PO and they're talking and things are building up as you get to the attraction.
Everyone gets mad at me because I wait there for a while and looking around and stay there.
I love the, you come around the first corner and you see the big board of flights that are leaving. There's just something so cool about that.
I agree with you.
I love the flight boards were awesome. The now boarding gate 2 or whatever. It was really cool. I like
the silhouettes of passengers in the terminals. And there's a droid. Oh my goodness, was that R2D2? Yeah, that's a really cool queue.
Yeah. So obviously in our park we would have queues thought out and done story so that maybe it is a little dynamic and it's changing, but it's got to be a big part of the design. All right, Mike Wheeler has a idea here. You're in a duo safari as you're getting ready to cross a bridge. A dam breaks and it takes you and the Jeep down the river until you're almost about to crash into rocks, then you drive off. So, Rob, I think that's on top of your idea.
Right, yeah.
Love that idea. That's great.
That's pretty neat.
Mike Wheeler says, Jim, it was in Busch Gardens when you're going by the elephants before you get to Tim. Whoops, did I hit something here? Hopefully I didn't mess anything up.
Yeah, he's talking about the ride I was talking about. So,
yeah.
If it were
Rhino Rally.
If it was in Busch Gardens until 2014, I must have been on it more recently than I thought. I don't remember the amphibious nature of it, though.
Yeah, it might not have been working when you went on it. So, but check out the video, though. So, tugboat ride in cities. Yeah, definitely. Go to the rivers track, spins you around. Like, yeah, it was so cool. I thought it was such a cool. Like, I was, wasn't much younger, but
Yeah.
Well, they do have amphibious cars at Disney Springs.
Yeah, they do.
Oh yeah,
So
right.
They've got that technology.
So, Dean,
they can do it.
Your concept is just bringing over the queue of Star Tours, like that type of queue.
Yeah, I like to think like Isaac Asimov, who was always this ultimate thinker, planner guy when he wrote his stuff and he wrote his science fiction stuff, that somehow the cues are more story-like and they're connected, so there's something that you're trying to learn. You're trying to understand the story. You go through Star Tours now, you've seen it 100 times and it's still fun, but it never changes.
Right.
So,
The more dynamic.
yeah. What's your daughter's name, Jim?
This is Annabelle.
Hey, Annabelle.
Hey,
You want to say hi to everybody? Do you want this? There you go.
Coming through. I like her shirt.
I'll see you later.
Disney family over there.
Yep.
I love it. Very cool. All right, back to you, Arnie.
Okay.
I love that concept, Dean. I love, real quick, I'm sorry, Arnie. I love, like, I be honest with you, I've never been through it, but there's just a lot of cool cues. And the cool queue in of course, Rise of the Resistance, I've seen some peaks of it and everything. It's just, I love that concept. Really good.
Cool cue is E.T. from
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. I love that too. I love that ride. You're right. I love that ride just because the queue. I love it. I agree with you. And the Men in Black one is very cool too in Universal. I really like it too. It was funny because the King Kong one in Universal too was always like, it was always a subway, and they had the Channel 9 local news people, and there was all like graffiti and everything like that. And I did feel like I was at home. So not very cool. Too funny. All right, Arnie, go ahead.
Okay. Well,
I love this.
For a D ticket, a lot of the attractions in Tomorrowland were D tickets. So if you look at the railroad has a station there, that's a D. Monorail was a D ticket, as an E ticket as well, but D. And also, I'm a big fan of audio animatronics. I just love those particular attractions and how they,
I can't believe it.
how they put them in any way. Now, I think the days of an audio animatronic show strictly where you go in and you sit down like Country Bear Jamboree and Carousel of Progress, American Adventure, those kinds of attractions, they're not going to build that type anymore where you just sit down and experience a show. This is where the concept for me comes in, where you get some kind of a transportation, something along the lines of like the Snow White Mine Train, where you are on the train and then it actually kind of slows down. You've got kind of an audio animatronic show going on, but you incorporate some kind of a bigger transportation vehicle, some kind of a train or a large vehicle that move a lot of people, and you can experience a show with audio animatronics somehow in that show. But something that would actually be more dynamic, something that could change easily. So if you went, say, during the Christmas holidays, they'd be able to do something that was, themed to the holidays.
One underlying theme we keep having is change. I noticed that, which is kind of cool.
It keeps people coming back. It's always going to be different. That's one thing they did with, for instance, the Indiana Jones adventure at Disneyland. It was the first attraction that they were able to put together where it was never the same experience twice. That vehicle you get on for either Dinosaur or Indiana Jones, they can program it easily so that it acts differently depending on what time of day it is, or even the type of people that are in the vehicle.
Well, it's funny because that was going to be my pick, like a dinosaur kind of Indiana Jones kind of ride. And you totally stole that from me, Arnie. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. So we're going to skip me then. So,
what's your favorite audio animatronic that you've ever seen, or did you say it? I didn't catch it.
My favorite one that I've ever seen?
Yeah.
My heartstrings are always pulled with the Carousel of Progress. A lot of people poo-poo that show, but for me, it just represents childhood and great memories.
It's good feeling. Yeah.
I have my favorite. The one that
What-
first came to mind is the Wicked Witch of the West, I guess, from
mine.
Great Movie Ride. Yeah,
I was
Yep.
thinking the same thing, Rob.
incredible, so cool. And then I would guess the latest incarnation is from Navi River Journey, the alien from there. She's just amazing too.
Oh, the
Yeah,
shaman.
too.
Yes.
Good night, Cynthia.
She's cool.
I think the addition of Jack Sparrow into Pirates, I think that was such a good-looking animatronic. I thought that was a good addition.
It's true.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I like it. Arnie. Good choice.
So that's my,
Jim?
that's my D ticket attraction.
I like it, Arnie. Good job.
Thank you, RobFuz. I needed a water-based ride in my park, and if we're still talking about Disney's America, I mean, we've got rivers galore, lakes galore. I mean, take your pick. But my concept for a water ride would be a raft, much like the round ones like they have for I want to say what's the one at Animal Kingdom?
Kali River Rapids.
Thank you. So like that. So you'd be in that. So you could have elements of a rapids, or you could slow it down so it's more calm. But in my ride idea, and this might be very expensive to make because you're actually making 3 different rides. But
There's no. There's
Money's not blue
blank
sky.
slate.
Blue sky.
But there's a part in the ride where you come to a fork in the river and you don't know which way your raft is going to go. Now, with technology, you could just tell which way to go, but you might be heading down the Colorado River, or you might be heading down the Ohio River, or something else. And they're 3 separate experiences. So you're not getting the same ride every time. You could have 3 different experiences. So along the way. And I'm also influenced by the family tube rides at the water parks.
Yeah.
Blizzard Beach has the better of the family raft rides, which is a different bit of a different ride vehicle. It's much smaller, but you it's such a thrill going down with your whole family, actually facing each other, and the thrill of getting wet and all that. So I don't have a name for it, but my river ride would have 3 possible tracks on which you could go. So it's a lot like there's a number of rides. Star Tours, you don't know which ride you're going to get on, or Mission Breakout at California Adventure. There's 7 different rides really you could have with that. So
I got on behalf of Bon Jovi, we will accept your proposal to call the ride Slippery When Wet and play Bon Jovi music.
that's great.
you need a theme? You need a name? There you go.
Is there a river in New Jersey?
I'm sure there is. The Delaware. There you go.
All right, I'm in. Let's do it.
There you go. George Washington. I like it. Sorry, good Chip. Go ahead.
No. That's it. Just
I like it. Very cool.
Just a water ride where you it can be any number of different experiences.
Oh, I like that name, Ben. The Rivers of America, just like the river at Disneyland and Magic Kingdom.
I like it.
That's good.
Very cool. Well, I guess it's my turn. And of course, I said that Arnie took my choice there. So. But yeah, it would be my choice was going to be. It's all right, like a dinosaur kind of Indiana Jones, because I love that vehicle. I love that vehicle ride. But I'm going to go with, in my park, I'm going to bring it over. And I know Jim's kind of looking back at his America park. I just was kind of just doing general stuff and everything. And I think Dean was doing general stuff. It's fine. We can do whatever we want. I really want a Tron ride at my park, but I don't want the Tron ride that's going in the park now. I want like a 15-minute version of the Tron ride. Maybe not all, like a full roller coaster, but I love the idea, like you were saying, all of us were saying, like you go to different parts, you see different scenes and everything. Might not be necessarily Tron, but you're interactive. You're like on kind of like a motorcycle, and you go through and you see different scenes and everything. It goes all the way around the park too, not just one little part. So,
What if it's like a Tron experience where you have part of it that's the roller coaster, and you get off that vehicle, you're not done with the experience yet. You stand in another queue so that you continue on for another experience within Tron.
yeah,
And then you do that a third time.
it's a good idea.
Add in there the experience of the first Tron when they get sucked in. So would there be a sucked into the computer part, like
Right.
Body Wars?
I like
I
that.
like that.
And I always when I think of Tron, the movie I loved as a kid, but whenever I think of Tron, I think of the video game too. So maybe incorporating like a video game into the concept.
Yeah.
I think you're onto something, Arnie. I think it's good. So.
I think you got it right on there, Rob.
I love throwing out ideas, and that's another. Well, I'm going to save that for next round. So I'm going to keep quiet. So. All right, Dean, all you, buddy.
All right. So I think Arnie will relate to this. And I'm back on the concepts where I think you guys have done a better job of creating something out of it. And I haven't created something big out of it, but Pirates of the Caribbean, as we all know, is better in California, much better than in Florida. I'm sorry, it just is. And in the beginning, you have a calm part where you're sort of out in the bayou. There's crickets and frogs and somebody on the porch, right? It's still that way, right?
By the restaurant too, which
Along with the Blue Bayou, yeah.
Come on,
Bayou, which I wish they wouldn't have refurbished, to be honest. I love the old Blue Bayou because it kept it more dark ride. It felt cooler. And they
refurbished it? I didn't even know they did.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago. And so the concept I'm after here is, again, story-like, where in the beginning you're going through one thing and you're feeling a cool bayou experience. And then all of a sudden you're whisked into the ride and it gets more active and everything. So the concept is how they create a whole story. In the end, you feel like you've been a part of a movie experience. And so, and I just love that. I love that area of Pirates. It's just so beautiful. If I could do anything I wanted in my basement, it would be to have that right next to my dining area.
Well, one thing I do like about Pirates of the Caribbean in California is the going up the waterfall at the end. It's a great idea.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, that's how you get out of the whole adventure. You go up the waterfall, and you've gone down waterfalls already, but you go up at the end. So
it's such a longer ride. And then I love when you're leaving, or you come around and you can see the boats coming, like right in the queue. I love that you can literally like almost touch them. I love that.
As you crest the top of that waterfall, you come into the area that you're, when you spill in, and where people see you as you're walking into the attraction, they see the boats coming around. There's a certain clackety clack that the top of the boats make when they crest that hill and come back into the river. And my cousins have always agreed that is the sound of vacation. It's not just Pirates of the Caribbean; it is vacation.
I like that.
Oh, yes, the fireflies. I love the fireflies there. That came up actually. Walt was looking at the attraction before it was, open to the public. And they saw the bayou. They saw the effects of the lighting, how dark it was, and how you were just going around. And they kept thinking, something's missing. Something is missing. We just can't picture it. And then all of a sudden someone said, the South is full of fireflies. That's what's missing. And that's how they got the fireflies there.
Nice. Kay says, I have a very unpopular opinion. I think the noise from the Blue Bayou takes away from the Pirates. And I'm just going to say, I was in Blue Bayou before the refurbishment, and it was, I don't know what year it was. I want to say it was in the mid-90s. And it was as if you were a part of the ride. They kept it dark in there. So it didn't take away from the attraction.
Yeah, I remember taking away from the attraction. I don't know the new refurbishment. All right, we're back to Arnie, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's time for my e-ticket attraction.
Yay.
Now
Wait.
this one,
It's awesome.
yeah. Now for this one of my favorite e-tickets is the Tower of Terror. I just love, and not the one in California. I'm talking about the one in Florida, because what it took was the experience of entering into a hotel, and then you see what the hotel used to be like. You enter a library, then you go into the boiler room, and every step you take, it's anticipation of something exciting to come. You know something's going to happen. You just don't know what. So then you get into this elevator, and it's a vehicle unlike any other attraction I'd ever been on before. I had never been on an elevator before that not just went up, but it could go up and down, controlled falls, things like that. Just incredible. And then it left the shaft. It leaves the elevator shaft and starts to move through the hotel. That is exciting. Very cool. I want something like that. But then I wanted to also have the feeling of maybe like a roller coaster. So maybe something like the elevator, but then it's a vehicle that has not been experienced before. I guess something maybe like what they're doing with Guardians of the Galaxy, where it then is like a roller coaster. But I'm thinking, what if it's like a flying elevator or some kind of a flying vehicle that you get into and you actually fly through your experience, but it's a controlled fly. It's not just a roller coaster. It's actually kind of a guided car that feels like a roller coaster, but it's not. And I know that they could come up with some kind of ride vehicle, some kind of ride system to experience that. I just don't know what it is yet, but you know, when you're talking blue sky, anything's possible. So I think something like that would be awesome. Some kind of a combination of the elevator idea of moving around the building along with a roller coaster type of attraction.
I love it.
Yeah. You know, in Dubai, they had some pretty interesting elevator technology. And so I'm just, it's like it'll go up and then it'll go sideways and do all these things. So it's definitely there.
You know, when you're talking, I'm thinking about Willy Wonka's elevator.
Oh, the Wonkavator.
The Wonkavator. Okay.
I like that.
I love it. Anyone else? I love it, Artie. I love that ride. I think it'll be a really cool concept of ride. All right. Mr. Jim.
All right. Thank you, RobFuz.
Sorry, guys. I love it.
My final one is actually, it's not terribly involved, but I want the gondolas back in a park. I'm calling this coast to coast.
What do you mean by gondola?
I mean like the Skyway.
Okay.
So I call it coast to coast. So it's going to take you from one side of the park to the other. But I want that. And I know maybe this is more for the next episode of the Fifth Gate, but I want a Skyway back in a Disney park. And, each cabin could be, decorated with each of the states or even cities or whatever. But simply, I just want a Skyway back in a Disney park. So I'm calling mine Coast to Coast.
That gets my vote. That's an awesome idea.
I love it too. Artie, why did they take them out of the parks?
At Disneyland, I don't know why they took it out of Florida, but in Disneyland, everyone has many theories. The best theory that seems feasible is that it required some major reconstruction to handle the weight load as you pass through the Matterhorn. The problem is that it would have cost too much money to tear it down, rebuild it, and then put it back in, get it back in operation. There were concepts of that. It was
there was issues with the Matterhorn.
Yeah,
kind of like the Disco Yeti in Expedition Everest.
Exactly. The structure of the Matterhorn was it was weakening where the Skyway went through because it was actually attached to the mountain. It was not separate. So there have been concepts of It was an ADA compliant, you know, for Americans with disabilities, things like that. It had nothing to do with that because all those types of attractions were grandfathered.
Right. Okay. I was
But
just curious.
that's the leading concept.
All right.
And there's this one little sight gag that they put in after the remodel of it, and I really liked it. If you look at the Matterhorn from the Tomorrowland side, from it, not much change. But if you look from the Fantasyland side, they kind of sealed off one of the holes, and they put in this rock formation that starts up here, attached to the mountain, and then kind of like loops around, and then hits the bottom, and it mimics the handle of a teacup because the Mad Tea Party sits right there in front of the mountain, and it's kind of a nod to the Mad Tea Party.
Very cool. I like that. Well, I agree, Jim. I miss it too, but you know, it's funny that they brought the Skyliner back to Disney.
Oh, it's the Skyway.
The Skyway.
That's what Doug calls it, and it always will be for Doug. The Skyway.
The Skyliner is great, by the way. Dean, you got to go on it, right?
Gosh, it's a game changer. Biggest game changer they've done.
That's awesome. I got to see it. I just was running late. I didn't really get a chance to get to go on it. So, unfortunately, well, I have a list of probably 20 rides on my list here, and I wanted to do this. You know, I wanted to. What's the word? I wanted to just kind of create it as we went, and I kind of did. All right, so my park, I want a Carousel of Progress in there, but I want to have it. And you guys are right. I do miss these animatronic kind of shows, and like in my park, it's coming back. I agree, Arnie. That it's not. You know, it probably isn't a feasible thing in 2020 to have it, but my Carousel of Progress is going to show the history of, and it be honest with you, it really is a shame that it's not represented in the parks. But my Carousel of Progress is going to show the history of Walt Disney. So in the different scenes, it's going to have, like, the first scene would be the story of Walt Disney, how he first came about, how he, you know. Then the second scene is going to be, you know, maybe it's the premiere of Snow White or something. And then the next thing is going to be, oh, I'm going to build, you know, like there's so many famous different scenes of him on, you know, World of Color and his TV show. I love the way he promoted Disneyland and everything over the years. So maybe one of the scenes is like one of those where it actually is Walt's voice, because there's so much content on Walt and everything. And I just think it's not a very represented thing where shows the history. There's nothing that shows the history. Maybe there's that Walt Disney Presents, but I don't think it does a great job. So that's going to be my last pick. You know, Carousel of Progress showing the history of Walt Disney. I think that'd be so cool.
A walk in Walt's footsteps, as if looking at the world through Walt's eyes. I love that.
Yeah,
it's a great idea.
I love Artie's build on it too. So that's definitely our brainstorming what it would be. So it'd be like a multimedia experience with animatronics, and I just think it'd be so cool. You just see the different history and everything. So
you put a ride in like that, it'll last forever. People will never allow you to get rid of that one.
I think so.
It
kind of reminds me of like the history of chocolate at Hershey Park, like that ride. I haven't been on that in probably 30 years, but I know it's still there. I know Road Trip Dave talks about it, so and he showed it. But I think that'd be cool.
Instant classic.
Yeah. All right, Dean, all yours. Final ride choice.
My last one. Excellent. My last one is any guess? No, I won't make a guess. Spaceship Earth, and I'll tell you the part, and I'll tell you what I would do with it. And it's something that, honestly, I could see trying to do something big with it, but I just wish. Well, we don't know what they're going to do at the top of Spaceship Earth right now, right? We don't really know, but we're assuming they're going to use projection mapping, and at least I have. And so that's really it. When the first time I saw it, the crescendoed music, seeing Earth, it all made sense to me. I got so excited the first time, but I think that Earth is just so small, and I think they took out something that used to hang there, right?
Right. Yeah. When they did that first refurb, something's definitely missing. So, and then all the going backwards and everything. Hopefully, that's all fixed with the refurb.
And have you ever seen that movie with? Is it the one with Sandra Bullock where she's in space and you see Earth and it's just so big? I think it's that movie. Anyway, I think they should make. Yeah, make it, 10 times bigger than it is. That new kind of amazing looking Earth where you as the passenger are on the space, you're on the spaceship, you're out doing something, and you're just
Gravity is the name of the movie. So.
Gravity. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. And I think that they could use the projection mapping. So my last suggestion for the fifth gate, and of course it would fit with the trip through the galaxy, is part of it is you seeing Earth in the way the astronauts are seeing it. It's just got to be bigger than life.
Well, I hope they accomplish that with that new restaurant that's supposedly coming in the summer, right? Is that when it's coming, Jim, or guys?
Space 220. Yeah, well, who knows now?
Yeah.
But it was delayed once because their chef quit.
I heard that.
So that was the reason for that delay, and now there's another delay. But yeah, Space 220, it's named that because the theme is that it's 220 miles up in space.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Was that one part of the Patina group?
I think so.
I think so, yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Grace likes that idea.
Yeah, thanks, Grace. I love that idea, Dean. It's so cool. I'm actually I kind of Googled Sandra Bullock space movie. I couldn't think of it either. It's just there literally is a still of her kind of going backwards with the Earth in the background. So,
yeah.
I can be honest with you. There's a lot of cool suspenseful space movies. I've watched that other movie with the guy from Jurassic World, and I forget that movie, where they're like going in space and they're all in their pods and everything. And
with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, that movie too.
Oh gosh,
I don't remember what that's called.
even your all I have to do is put Jennifer Lawrence space movie.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, yeah. What's their movie? It is Passengers. That's a very underrated movie. I really like that. But like Gravity and Passengers, there is like that's space gone wrong. And my concept that you're in my thoughts of your idea, Jim, it's space gone wrong. There's issues. You know what I mean? It's not a pleasant experience. It has that suspense. And I love the word crescendo. And you talked about it before. I think this is one of the things, Bob and Dean and I and even Josh, and I'm sure you guys love, of course, too. Just the soundtrack of Epcot, the classic Epcot, was just so good and everything. So, but I love
listen to it every day. And too much of it, really.
I love it. Well, how is it even available? How do you have it still? Like the old soundtrack?
I have some. We'll talk off stream, Rob.
All right.
No, it's all available on was it BitTorrents?
Okay. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we're just not. It's like so nonchalant. Like if you're watching a replay of this in the future, Disney World's actually closed, which is all the parks are closed. The world is closed, which is crazy. So, just kind of crazy to think that that's going on in this world. So, I hope everyone's safe and everyone's being stay safe and stay well and everyone stay healthy, guys. So.
Yeah.
All right. On that note, Mr. PepperTreeVilla over there, Arnie, of course, Doug and Ben, you guys are awesome. Such a great channel. Let's talk about PepperTreeVilla. Talk to us. What's going on over there? By the way, Arnie hits it out of the park every day, 6:00 Eastern time. He does that. That's usually the time he does it, but does the Disney history is so awesome. I love what you do.
Just an unofficial Disney historian here.
I love it.
Yeah, I have a lot of fun with that. And then, of course, we have our weekly show, PTV Live, on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. And then Ben drops a video for Life with Ben on Thursdays. Every morning, you'll see his new video. Today, we're actually doing a second spicy chicken challenge.
It's going to make me too hungry. I can't watch it.
I don't know, KFC, they're a chicken restaurant, and they were just not doing well this week for Ben.
I do got to watch. Now you got me intrigued. They're going to watch it.
But yeah, he does some great stuff. And we've got some other videos in the works right now. Just various things, aspects of what we do, especially like recipes and food. We like to focus a lot on food. So
I love it.
So yeah,
Food's great.
That's PepperTreeVilla.
Very cool. Mr. Jim.
Oh, I do Oh, sorry. There we go.
Where's
Thank you,
me?
RobFuz.
Where's me?
Oh, thank you. I gotcha.
Slacking over there.
Oh boy, I wasn't ready for that. Oh no. Oh wait, here we go. I don't have it. Anyway.
You had a picture of me like this.
Oh man, what is going on?
Work on it. Go ahead.
You
know what to put it up, Jim. Go ahead. Talk about more sunshine, please, Jim.
Thanks.
More sunshine, please. Thank you. I go live every Tuesday at 7:30. Talking Disney or whatever. That's right before Mouse Talk on Tuesdays. And as far as other videos, I've got one more 360-degree park tour to post, and that's me 40 minutes through Animal Kingdom with my 360-degree camera. So I'll release that soon.
I've enjoyed them, Jim. I really like them.
Thank you. I like doing them. Thank you.
It's cool being able to drag the image and you can actually see even up in the sky. It's really cool.
That's the thing. If you're on your phone, you just move your phone and it's like a window. So you can see whatever you want. But thank you. Yeah, I think it's pretty neat too. And then I like to once a month or so, I do a Disney World picture quiz. So I'll have one of those coming out soon. And then, like everybody else, we'll be scraping the bottom of the barrel for ideas until I can get back into the parks. But no. So we'll go live. I'll be guests on other people's live streams. I've been invited on Spilling the Disney Tea tomorrow at 8 p.m. I believe that's on Kelly's channel, the Mickey Bunch. I think that's who's hosting it.
Are you?
There she is.
She's there. Kelly, is it on your channel?
Yeah, let us know.
You invited me on too, but it got postponed or something.
I think that the theme of it is how Florida residents are dealing with the Disney shutdown and stuff like that. So I think all the other guests are Florida residents as well. So I don't want to speak for them, but I thought that was the case. So they invited me on.
Jim and Rob, don't forget the Taste of Easter is coming too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. I'm
kind of bowing out on eating this time around. I told you I'll be there now. So I forget to mention that. PepperTreeVilla did a couple of the taste of shows. They're really good. So
yeah, it's coming up March 30th.
Very cool. That's awesome.
March 30th. So Kelly is hosting it. Thank you.
Good.
Mickey Bunch. Kelly's awesome.
Tomorrow night at 8?
Tomorrow at 8, I believe. Yes.
Definitely check out all three of these channels. They're awesome channels. And Jim's just awesome. And Arnie's awesome. And of course, Dean is awesome. You guys are so awesome.
We're all awesome. Everything is awesome.
Everything is awesome. So much fun.
That's my sound.
Yeah, that's Arnie's.
March 30th. There it is right there. So, of course, my channel, RobFuz. I do some retro videos. I go live. I'm actually we're talking about, I think, Saturday. I don't know what time yet, but we are doing a pub talk. So some very interesting events have happened since our last pub talk. Unfortunately, Adam was supposed to be in Disney World for this week. He was supposed to be there right now, actually. So his trip got canceled, unfortunately, or postponed till I think July is going, but not to spoil it. But it's going to be an interesting pub talk. So, and tomorrow I'll be live, usually 4:30. Every Friday I do pub talk or I do Frankie Friday. I'm not sure. Frankie hasn't surfaced yet. He's doing like a homeschool thing tomorrow. Him and my son are starting. So I don't know if he's going to be up to it tomorrow, but either I do Frankie Friday or I do a RobFuz hangout or I do a pub talk. Usually Fridays, 4:30 is my time. So, but that's my channel. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I'm going to talk about this guy right here, theliveplace.com. Incredible. It's the TV guide of YouTube. Check it out. And of course, he has the Live Place YouTube channel. If this is the channel you're watching right now, please subscribe if you haven't. Hit that like button. And I'm going to give the floor to Dean. Thank you so much for having me, Dean.
Thank you, Rob. And you guys have getting to know Rob. He's our awesome moderator, and I always rely on him to do that. But I also wanted to say, first off, I'm very happy that Jim, Rob, you guys have been willing to do this show with me. Arnie, I could tell that you were interested in this subject, and I was so excited about that. So thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to stream with you and Ben and Doug, and so we look forward to doing it again soon. And let me go on. Let me see. So I've got one surprise. We'll see how excited you guys are really about it. So the live place. I have been rather fickle about my plans, and at first, my plan was to be weekly to do weekly news shows by now, and I have decided that is not a good idea. There just isn't enough there, I think, to do weekly news shows. So I'm playing with the format a little bit. I am doing my next news show in now I can't remember. I think a couple of weeks, but I'll post it.
The news shows are awesome.
Thank you. And I've got to work on it. I just feel like there's some concepts there that need to be tweaked, but that was always the plan, is figure out what works. I want to say thank you for everybody joining. First off, too, is didn't get to say hi to Scott Schur, who joined the chat. Scott, always good to see you, my friend. And Avery, good to see you. Thanks for joining, all of you. You guys have been great, and we're really honored to have you here. My last thing before we say goodbye is my little surprise, and I am going live tomorrow night. And I announced, and so I'm going live at 9:30, and here it is. Are you ready? Okay, first I got to switch to me mode, and now I got to switch here. Here we go. Yeah, if you hadn't seen this already, let me switch that a little bit. Is it coming across? I am doing a game night called What the or Who Dat? And that was the brilliant name I came up with after a lot of meditation. The idea is, like most trivia games, I'm going to come with a topic, and it's either going to be a what or a who. And tomorrow night at 9:30, it's what. And what is Marvel movies. And this is going to be actually a quicker game show where I'm going to go through only 8 questions. I've got a point system worked out. I'll go over all that tomorrow night. So obviously there's other streamers going on. Jim's going to be on at that time, because Spillin' usually goes more than an hour and a half, right, Jim?
It varies, but it could, I think, yes.
Yeah. I'm going to go back to this mode here. And so I'm going to go live at 9:30. It's planned to be a half-hour show, and it's going to be a trivia game. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about how, like, Eye to Eye, who's the other channel? Now I'm blanking. Some of the other channels are doing trivia. And if they are, I'm trying to come up with like the FedEx point system of live streamings, where if you're doing trivia, I'm going to take the points together and I'm offering a prize. And I got the prize sitting over here, but I'll show it tomorrow night. So there you go. Game Central, part of the live place, tomorrow night, first show at 9:30.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Crowd
Nice.
is going wild.
Hey, Dean, what's the next 5th gate episode going to be about?
Well, thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob.
I'm supposed to remind him.
Two things to say. The next 5th gate, I just had it here, is April 21st, Tuesday, April 21st. Let me say, that one is the one that we're talking about, Retro Disney. And we do have a guest plan, and you guys probably know this already. It's Josh of Resort TV 1. So that'll be awesome. So April 21st, Tuesday night, same time, or on Thursday night.
Retro Disney.
Retro Disney.
Yeah.
That'll be the topic.
I'm adding it to my calendar. I didn't know
Yeah.
we had a date yet. But all right. I love it. Very
Anyone with anything else before I pitch a couple more channels tonight?
cool. I think that's it. 90 minutes on the button. Go for it.
All right, 90 minutes. Right now, the Duffley crew is live. Please go over there. Oh, I got the link and everything. Here we go. There it is. Here it comes. I don't think I pasted that the best way, but go over and check out the Duffley crew. Say hi to Ron and Meredith. Awesome people. They have the most incredible background you have ever seen. It is got a lot of stuff. And 10 o'clock, one of our new streamers at the live place is the Lynn Project. You guys all know Lynn. She's all over the place now with other streamers. And it's check-in with Lynn at 10 o'clock Eastern time, which is 30 minutes from now. So say hi to Lynn. Say hi to the Duffley crew. Thanks very much, everybody. Thanks to my co-hosts and Arnie. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank
We'll
you.
talk-
Guys, don't
Thank you,
forget, if you
Dean.
subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to the Live Place on YouTube and check out the liveplace.com. He doesn't promote
Thank
too
you, Rob, and subscribe to these channels. I know you guys all are, but anyway, they're in the link. If you're watching it on the replayer, they're in the description. All 3 channels are listed there. So thanks again. We will see you next time for the 5th